Good morning, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, and Shinrin Yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Sunday, September 25th, around 1 p.m. Mountain Time 2022. The current models are in and they're tightening up. The path of Tropical Storm Ian is becoming slightly more exact. The center of all those spaghetti models are right around Tallahassee for landfall. But the warning cone goes all the way from Tampa to Pensacola. So we're tightening up the models and we'll dive in deeper in the podcast. The big story, it's surreal. Canada's Atlantic coast residents describe devastation as Fiona wipes away homes and knocks out power for thousands. Keep calm. It's boom time. Now, yesterday we showed you some devastating video footage of what happened when Fiona, one of the strongest storms ever recorded, made landfall, and we have some more footage. The power is still out for over 250,000 people. Half of the residents of Nova Scotia are currently without power. Take a look at that. The center of the island, mostly 100% out. That is shocking. And there are also quite considerable power outages still in New Brunswick, but most of the power has been returned there. Prince Edward Island, almost everyone still without power, 90% without power on PEI. So we have that video pulled up here.
Oh my God!
That's got to be scary. I mean, houses literally just washed into the ocean.
Do not go around any shorelines. Do not go in the Grand Bay West area or at the beaches. This is a state of emergency.
He is not kidding. Do not do it.
Something happened in Havana.
A global mystery.
All right, we're going to jump over here to my Twitter page, Oppenheimer Ranch Project, at Diamond the Dave. Just go to Twitter, at Diamond the Dave, and you can find the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, where we post some funny memes and other stuff, but important weather updates as they're occurring way before the show ever airs. Meanwhile, in Newfoundland, take a look at these ratchet straps. Hopefully that guy's house is still standing. As we do have some footage here, if you come over to the Twitter feed of some of that damage that occurred from Fiona, more footage coming out today, as well as the footage you saw yesterday. Now, there is another typhoon we need to worry about, and this is typhoon we don't need to worry about, but the people of the Philippines do, and that is hashtag Nuru. Hashtag Nuru is moving into the Philippines, actually made landfall about an hour or so ago, and looks like a pretty significant storm. There is some video footage coming out where you can see huge amounts of rain and heavy winds there. This is the track. If you come over to the Twitter feed, you'll find that. And there's some more footage here of Nuru. Torrential rains drench northern Philippines as Super Typhoon Nuru nears. Well, it's already hit, so there is that. Now, Tropical Storm Ian is the big newsmaker today. Tropical Storm Ian is rapidly intensifying before it pummels Florida. That's how they're putting it. Now we have both of the models up here. This is the first one we'll look at is the GFS model, and they're tightening up their paths. You can see here on the GFS landfall is Pensacola on Friday. Landfall Pensacola on Friday. After rafing western Cuba Tuesday and Wednesday, it will hit Pensacola on Friday. Not a very strong storm here at 960, 970 millibars, maybe Cat 2 on the GFS model. Now, here's the European model that's going to show Hurricane Ian go deeper inland on Cuba, creating more damage there, rapidly intensifying and moving towards the coast near Estero Bay, up to Fort Myers, and all the way up north, maybe making landfall south of Tampa Bay. And that landfall will be more like Wednesday. So still not in agreement with the speed of the storm, but they are tightening up the cones, and the spaghetti models are tightening up here. As you can see, the Atlantic Tropical Storm Ian model tracks as of just a few hours ago. And there you have it. So it's looking like Tallahassee is the bullseye currently. And that's what the National Hurricane Center is saying here over at NOAA. We have them saying the same thing as a hurricane, not a major hurricane, but a hurricane making landfall somewhere around Tallahassee, 8 a.m. Friday. So that's the best we can do this far out. Now, Ian is expected to produce heavy rainfall and flash flooding and possible mudslides in areas of higher terrain, particularly over Jamaica and Cuba. Flash and urban flooding is possible across the Florida Keys and Florida Peninsula through midweek. Additional flooding on rivers across North Florida and parts of the southeast U.S. cannot be ruled out later this week, and that's what these storms do. That's where the most injuries occurred during the flooding rains after the fact. Now, here are some of the impacts possible, and you can see here the risks to lives and property from catastrophic to high. Flooding, rainfall, destructive winds, power outages, coastal inundation, dangerous seas. So that is the first map we'll look at here. Here is the potential for hurricane force winds and their arrival from September 25th through October 1st. So it's looking like those winds will arrive on Cuba starting tomorrow or today, and Florida as early as Tuesday morning in the Keys. And Ian's rainfall potential, 8 to 16 inches, 4 to 8 in the dark green. 8 to 16 over Cuba. So, and that's just through October 1st. Let's see what the National Weather Service has to say. Storms in the mid-Atlantic. Tropical storm Ian is expected to rapidly intensify. Scattered severe thunderstorms with a primary threat of hail and damaging winds will be possible this afternoon and evening across portions of the Appalachians and mid-Atlantic states. Heads up Philly and most of PA. Tropical storm Ian is forecast to approach the Florida Peninsula as major hurricane strength by midweek and poses a risk of dangerous storm surge, hurricane force winds, and heavy rainfall. So heads up. Magnitude 4.8 earthquake strikes NorCal coastline. Is it still on the map? There she blows. So that is on one of those near the Cascade area, but not on the Cascadia megathrust. So we do have an uptick there. There's no other quakes of note, really. Multiple events happening up in Svalbard recently, just to make a note of that. And this is the largest, most recent quake was in, well, right there. Take a look. Bandar. Mauna Loa volcano seismic swarm. This is a new update from Volcano Discovery. We talked about it yesterday and peeled that article directly from Maui Times, I think, or Maui Now. So here's what's coming from that, and a tighter picture of here's the caldera and that seismic swarm that's currently ongoing. We also want to talk about Sakurajima volcano in Kyushu, Japan. Pyroclastic flows following a powerful eruption are making news headlines. This volcano has been erupting continuously for at least 5 years from the Mitadaki caldera and has been erupting continuously since 1955. So it's also known as Era? Well, however you pronounce it. That's what it's also known as, and it says it right up there, I promise you. This is the eruptive history of the volcano. So it erupted in 1955 to 2016 from the Minadaki and east flank, and then I guess the east flank stopped erupting, and it's been continuously erupting from 2017 till now at the Minamidaki summit crater. So that's what's happening there at Sakurajima. Space weather news update. The sun has gone quiet. We are at solar max. The disk is peppered with sunspots, and they are just not doing anything, folks. As predicted. Grand solar minimum much? What was that in the bizarre sky? I have never seen so many crazy people thinking that they witnessed aliens than last night. Dozens of folks called the NBC 12 newsroom about the strange sight in the sky because they don't know how to Google what is that strange light in the sky. They would have easily found out what it was. And you guys know what this was? It wasn't E.T. It was SpaceX successfully launching its Falcon 9 rocket from Cape Canaveral in Florida just after 7:30 p.m. And it was witnessed up and down the East Coast. Here's a shot from New York. Fantastic. Billionaire bunkers. How the world's wealthiest are paying to escape reality. When civilization collapses, J.C. Cole will be ready. He's founded Safe Haven Farms, a maximum security compound to ride out the next pandemic or climate change disaster. And those who can afford to join him will also have a shot at survival, he promises. But the price tag isn't cheap. A $3 million investment in his startup isn't just about getting admission. Members also get a stake in a potentially profitable network of local farm franchises that could reduce the probability of a catastrophic event in the first place. Look at his grin. Take a look at some of these. This is an underground bunker that offer amenities of a 5-star hotel. This is a bunker. Look at the wine cabinet over here. And a pool room. Holy macaroni. That's how I want to go out. Let's look at this one. Look at that. In-ground pool. These people are, wow, I need to know some of these people. So the likes of Jeff Bezos and others. Here's Opidium Hideaway in the Czech Republic. Take a look at these vehicles. These people have tons of money. It looks like he's got a Genghis Khan mask over here too, or armor. Really amazing. Look at the squinty little prick. All right, so that's what the rich people are doing. They're living large when the event occurs underground and with organic farms and all kind of other stuff. Now, you and I, we're going to have to work together, so don't even think about it. Now, for those who missed it yesterday, an assessment of the conventional global warming narrative blown out of the water by Richard Lindzen. This is a 30-page expose on how the IPCC has been wrong continuously with all of their predictions the entire time, and talks a little bit about natural climate variability. And here are some paleoclimatic reconstruction showing just how cold it is on Earth and how low CO2 is. We need to get the CO2 up and pray that the temperature doesn't keep dropping. And that's a boom to knowledge. Hope you got something out of the video. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. In a dystopian world, you tune into the Oppenheimer Ranch Project for a clear point of view that is unpolluted with propaganda. Be a hero and become a Patreon, support the work we do. Or just simply share this video. We love you. Be safe, and that's a boom.